Hi everyone, my name's Sandra and I'm an artist at the Submit to Love studio at Headway, East London. If you watch this video, you'll be able to see how I did lino print. It's the first time I've ever done it, and this is my print when I finished. But if you watch the video, you'll be able to do one much better than me. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Emily. I'm the Creative Activities Coordinator at Headway and at Submit to Love Studios. And this is
Sandra.
Sandra is one of the artists at Headway. And today, together, we're going to be doing some lino printing. But we're going to go through it step by step so that we can learn together. And if anyone wants to have a go at it, then you might be able to watch this video and find out a little bit more about how it works. So, Sandra, shall we check that we've got everything we need?
Okay.
And Sandra, you've also got a nice image there, one of your drawings that you're going to use.
It's a jug.
That's right, that's from one of the art Zoom sessions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mine is as well, mine's a cactus drawing. So we've got a nice botanical theme going on there, which is nice. Okay, so first thing, I always have to get a bit, I have to try and keep my area really tidy because otherwise I get a bit too messy. I'm sure you're keeping nice and neat though, Sandra.
No, I'm keeping them all to hand.
So
yeah.
What I'm going to do...
Why is my thing a lot bigger than yours, my bit of lino?
Oh, just because I've cut mine down.
Can I cut mine down?
Yeah, definitely. You could cut it now if you want, or you could cut it afterwards, but it probably is better and easier to work with if you cut it to like the same. So if you see mine, my image and my lino are kind of about the same size.
Oh.
You want your lino to be a bit bigger, just because you definitely don't want to, your image to go off the side of the lino. Yeah, this is nice stuff to work with. Some of the other stuff is a bit too hard.
So I've cut in half.
Perfect. I've got my image. I'm putting the tracing paper or greaseproof paper over the top. And the first thing I'm going to do is trace my image. And then I'll let you know what I'm going to do afterwards. But the other thing you can do is you can just draw straight onto the lino if you want.
Oh no, I'll just copy this.
Okay, well it's nice that you will use that image really. Sandra, I'm just going to explain what I've done so far. So I've traced my image onto some tracing paper.
You've done that really quick.
Well, it's quite rough. I've just done a bit of a rough version of it. And then in order for me to get my image onto the lino, I'm going to lay it pencil side down onto my lino.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to scrub the back with a pencil, and it should imprint the carbon from the pencil onto the paper. Sorry, onto the lino.
It's coming out, it's faint, but I can see it, but it's kind of faint.
Okay, well that's fine. So that's the reason why we've got a marker pen, because what I find helps me, because you're right, it comes out quite faint. But I sometimes go over the image with the marker pen, and then it's much easier for you to work with, because the lino is so dark, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so now I've got to go over it with the pen, you say?
Could help. Yeah. Is it working?
Yeah, but kind of, because it's so faint, I'm kind of guessing.
Well, make sure you're using your image as well as a reference.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture, I'm thinking, okay, so that's where the line is.
How's it looking, Sandra?
It looks a lot better than I thought it would be when I started it.
Oh, excellent. Oh, excellent.
The top bit, see, you can't see it unless I go over it with the pen.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to use that.
Whatever this is, permanent marker.
Mine's come out Mine's all right. You can kind of see the outline now, which will
You
make...
just do it so quickly.
I'm probably not being as precise as you, Sandra. I'm just doing a much rougher job. So the next thing we need is, this is where we use our tool, lino cutting tool. But these are quite sharp. So be careful.
Oh.
So basically what we're going to do is wherever there's a black line, we're going to carve it out with this tool.
With this thing?
Yeah. So they are quite sharp. So the
I'm
best...
a bit shocked now. I don't know what I thought it was.
So I find the best thing, keep your hand behind the tool. You don't want to be cutting towards yourself or cutting towards your hand.
Don't want to make me break my nails because I won't be happy.
Oh, do you know what? I'm terrified of that happening, Sandra.
Yeah, go on. Put my hand behind.
So keep your hand behind it rather than in front of it, just in case you slip. And so if you look closely, it's got like a little V shape.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to carve. It's like a little knife, basically, a little gouge that's going to carve out that lino.
So I just follow where the lines are.
That's right. You shouldn't have to push too hard because it's quite easy cut. You can kind of just like skim across the top, but just take your time. So look, this is what I've cut this bit out. Can you see? That's like, and now it looks like this, Sandra.
Oh, right, okay.
Out of there, and now that's made like a little indent. It takes a bit of getting used to, and it takes a bit of getting the hang of it because you kind of need to learn how much pressure to put on it. And when I'm going round, I find it easier to move the lino rather than. So what I would do if that was on the page, on the table, I would then move the lino.
Rather than move it. Okay.
Yeah, otherwise you'll end up pointing it towards you and you might slip. Can I see how it looks so far? Oh, excellent. That's great.
It is, but the hand was a bit thick.
No, I don't think so. I think that will work well. Sometimes it makes this bit of my finger hurt.
Yours is done. Yeah.
So, yeah, let's meet again next week and do the printing part 2.
Okay.
This is part 2 of printing. We had to finish last week, didn't we, Sandra? Because we ran out of time, but we're going to move on to the next bit, which is actually printing our print. We've both got our images cut out.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do now is use a pair of scissors to cut around the outside.
Cut it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I tell you what, Sandra, here's a good tip. If you know where the groove is that you've dug out, if you cut that bit, it's a lot easier to cut. See how you get on. But the other thing is, you don't have to cut it out. You could keep it on the lino. You could add a background to the lino if you wanted to. Next thing you need is your tray, ink tray, and your ink. Yeah. What I want you to do is squeeze a small amount along the top. So it doesn't need to be a thick layer. I don't know if you can see. It's just a little smear, really.
Okay.
Have you done that?
Yeah, it's not a smear. It's like a blob because it's just a blob.
That's fine, actually. That's good. As long as there's not too much in there, that's good. Okay, then you need your ink roller. Okay. Oh, you can put some gloves on. That's a good idea, actually.
No, I just saw ink. I best put my gloves on.
So this ink for printing isn't it's not great ink to get on your clothes, for example. It takes a long time to dry. So even the print we make today will probably take a whole day to dry. Right, so ink roller, tray with your ink on it. Keep it flat on the table. So I'm just going to show you, but yours will be on the table. So what you'll do is just get a little bit of ink on your roller and start rolling it up and down, and then as you're rolling it up and down, take your roller off and let it spin, and then put it back. And that's to kind of get a nice thin even layer over your roller. So taking it on, putting it back, off and on, go this way and that way. And can you hear the sound?
Yeah, so I've got to be able to hear a noise.
Should be able to hear like a bit of
It's a squeaky roller.
You've got the comedy one. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a little shiny layer. You got that?
Yeah.
Right. So the next thing to do, take a piece of lino, put it flat down on the surface in front of you. If you want to put it on some scrap paper, like a newspaper.
I've got cardboard and newspaper on the table.
Amazing. So prepared.
I put everything on the table.
But basically what we're going to do is, with this flat on your table, just going to roll the ink over a few times, a few different ways, just getting a nice even layer.
So this is going to be the print. Oh, I see now.
Yeah.
I've got it now. It's taken me a long while to get what you're doing.
It's a bit of a process, isn't it? There's lots of different parts to it. Just check that you've got like a shiny, thin layer over the whole thing that's nice and even. Like you haven't got any lumps, haven't missed any bits around the edge. Go back to the ink tray and put more ink on it if you need to.
Yeah, it's covered.
That's what mine looks like now. It's all covered. Pop it back down on a clean surface. Hopefully you haven't got too much ink around you. So then I'm going to lay my piece of paper gently on top. When it's on top, don't knock it or jog it around by accident. Just decide where you're going to put it and put it straight down on top. Gently rub the back. I'm like, you kind of, I say gently so that you don't jog it, but you need to put quite a lot of pressure on it. So sometimes I use like my fingers and really go all the way around the outside. It's actually sometimes good to use something like the back of a spoon. That gives
a roller.
You can, yeah, if you've got a clean roller, then that's another good way of doing it. This is where, this bit's a bit tricky because different papers print quite differently. So I'll try and show the camera how we're doing this. So that is my lino underneath, paper on top. And then with it on the surface, I'm just rubbing over the whole thing like this and like really pushing in some bits, making sure all the edges are printed. What you could do is you could have a little peek at one corner, just lift it up and see if it looks like the print has come through.
It has.
Yeah? Well then very slowly, you can lift up your, ooh.
It's lovely, look.
Oh, Sandra, that's gorgeous.
Oh my God, hasn't it?
That's beautiful.
Wow.
Are you pleased?
Yeah, it does look good. And that's just from my drawing.
I think that looks great, Sandra. And the thing is, now you've got your lino, so you can print as many of them as you like. You could do a million of them if you want to. You could try different colours, different inks. You could print onto cards and send them to
My
people.
sister's birthday, I might make her a birthday card with my wreath.
That's really great. So what you would do now, if you had more paper, you just roll up your ink again, roll it on top, print again, roll it again, and then you just go until you're finished. So just ink up every time you want to do another print. And then when you're finished, just wash this in the sink, let it dry.
Well, I wash this. this thing itself?
Yeah, the whole rubbery thing. You can just put that in the sink, and like you might need to use your fingers to wash it off. And then same with the ink as well. Just put that in the sink, wash it off with your hands, let it dry naturally. And yeah, then you can do as many prints as you want.
Okay, thanks Emily.
Cheers, Sandra. Bye.
Bye.